Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your main man, Killer B, the doggone witch finder general. And you got a witch, I'll burn them up. Yo, check this out. This is your first time. It's your first time here. Don't be afraid to hit that share button. Definitely hit that like button. And if you hit the share button, don't forget the notification bell so you can get a notification when I go live and start to act the fool. Right. So I got a special video that I'm gonna do tonight, and it what sparked my interest in doing this. One of my Facebook friends, she know who she is, right? She stay on it. She likes staying in the bushes, creeping. But shout out to her. I might play the thing that she sent me and talk about it a little bit later. But through researching what she put out, it sparked my idea of doing a video that I've been wanting to do for like quite a while now. So I'm gonna do this video. I'm not gonna do my intro music. Definitely don't forget to hit the like button when you come in. Definitely don't forget to hit the like button. Share this video, because this is gonna be a real heavy video that I'm about to do, and it's gonna rattle a lot of cages, it's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, right? But all in all, we're gonna tell the truth like we always do over here, right? So yeah, scrap in, grab your drinks, your snacks, or whatever, and enjoy the show. I'm not going to do my intro music, but I'm going to start with an audio by Black Panther leader Huey P. Newton. So check this out, and I'm going to get back. Thanks to a guy, I'm also got the article through another YouTuber that I just found today, and I'm really digging what he's talking about. I haven't listened to any more videos. Goes by the name of The Conscious Lee. So shout out to him and stuff for helping me do this video. I'm gonna play a little bit of stuff from his video that he did on this subject also. So with that, let's start the show. Let's go. Oh yeah, don't forget the donations. If you guys want to donate, you like the video, you like the content, don't be afraid to donate. Super chat, super thanks. I like Cash App. You can send me a Cash App any amount, and you see the name scroll out the bottom of the stream. I definitely will add your name and can send you a thank you video for your donation of any amount. So this is my way of giving back and giving a super thanks back for thinking about your boy Killer B the West Finder General. So let's go. See, Now, what's up, Nagy? Glad to see you up in here. Yeah, I know. Like, I had some issues with the Black Panther Party, also, but I'm starting to come around a little bit. Like, there's a lot of things, and I had my reasons. Like, my reasons that I disliked the Black Panther Party. I was thinking about today was pretty much based in my whole ideology, what I was into as a young teen. Um, with the whole straight edge movement and stuff like that. I'll talk about that real quick. Just like real quick. I'll put the link in the chat for you in 1 sec. In freshman year of high school, like I started to embrace like the whole sharp, straight edge skinhead movement. And one of the main things was like not doing drugs. And I was into this revolutionary, radical type of thing, right? And I would go to the library, do my research on Black history, stuff that I wasn't taught at home and stuff that I wasn't taught in school, right? So I would like stay in the library. I loved books when I was a kid, right? Even though I wasn't the best reading comprehension, grammar, and all that stuff. I loved books. And I picked up a Black Panther Party book that had its rules, regulations, and everything in there. And it was something that just like rubbed me the wrong way because it said in there that drugs was prohibited when you're on duty. So I took that. I was like, yo, so these people are allowing people to do drugs, but they just can't do it when they're on duty. Like as a young kid, like 13, 14, somewhere around there, I was. It rubbed me the wrong way. And I was a radical, like straight edge kid. So that's a whole nother video that I can do. I tell you about that whole movement and stuff one day. I've been people have been telling me shout out to Chicka Powell because she's behind me to do videos on that too. Also, I wanted to invite my boy Diablo D. Yo, shout out to Diablo D. His channel's dope to help me over here with the skinhead movement. But anyway, but back to the show. You gotta rub me the wrong way a little bit, right? And it has made me look at the Black Panthers differently. And I held that belief all the way into recently. Well, like a few years when they made that Black Panther, the Last Messiah, whatever the movie was called, and they showed the Black Panthers in a light that I didn't really see from books and stuff like that, and documentaries and stuff, right? So I started to really like the movement. I also had a box set with the trial with what was his name for the Black Panthers? I forgot his name. It wasn't Huey P. Newton. Who was it? I can't think of his name right now. But there was a big trial in Connecticut. It might have been Huey P. Newton. It was a trial in Connecticut with him where he was gagged and bound, like gagged and bound in court and stuff. I was still kind of young to really understand what was going on in the courtroom and stuff like that. I want to definitely read. I might listen to that thing tonight. But this is something that's very interesting because the so-called conscious community, so-called Nagy likes the term Nagy likes the most and stuff, BLACKOLOGY, right? And the AFROCENTRIST, they ignore a lot of things that don't fit their little agenda. See, these people really aren't about revolution or being fair and equal and actually uplifting people and stuff. Because some of the things, like I've said, like with the civil rights movement, Black people, Martin Luther King, Bobby Seale, that's it, Nagy. That was Bobby Seale that was gagged in court. The people didn't like, kind of lost my thought right there. The people want to push this whole narrative that the white man is after them, and they use this not to teach you any better. They don't use this to teach you to be a better person or to fight to get other people to the fight for your rights or for people to come to one understanding and be good people. No, it's they want the hatred. The Black Power movement, right? This Black conscious movement is no different than white supremacy. It's actually the same thing. And they don't want anything to change. Because if things change, it gives them nothing to talk about. It gives them nothing to complain about, nothing to cover up their own BS. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try not to swear on this video, so which is gonna be extremely hard. Let me drop the link in here. So anybody want to come out here, challenge me, or whatever, or speak? I tagged a bunch of people in the community. I really hope that they might could come on and talk about this, because you know they cover a lot of these topics too. So let me put the link up in here for me. They're gonna link anybody want to hop on. Black power should mean black empowerment. That's a good one, Nagy. And you're right, Nagy. Like black empowerment, like that's one thing, and black power is another thing. Because when you hear these people talk, it's like they want to take over the earth. They want to do the same thing that they claim their oppressor, their so-called oppressor, is doing to them. And oppression is if what these people are fighting against. So oppression on all levels should be fought for, right? Hold on, lady. Let me get you up in here. There you go. And what's up, Maggie?
Yeah, what's good, man? How you doing?
Good. So, I got an article of a speech from Huey P. Newton that he did in New York City in 1970. And what you're going to hear him say is going to put the whole, what I call the black y'alls. Nagy says the blackology.
The blackologist. That's a great name for him.
Yeah, the blackologist.
I can't imagine that. That would be the funniest thing ever. Imagine them saying that they're gonna help you get rid of those white thetans out of your body. We got to get them white thetans out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna make you hold these cans and ask you questions, and they're gonna be like, "You're gonna be an operating Negro."
Stop. But
I will. I know. I had to come up with something to sound like Scientology.
Yeah, you gotta go with something, right? So it's crazy that people are embracing, listening to these so-called conscious people that claim to be black power. And some of these people are clearly part of the community I'm going to be speaking about tonight, and they're afraid to speak on it. Like, some of these people are clearly part of this community and will suppress it and drive themselves nuts over it, right? And then we got people like Mr. Harris and stuff, Mr. Chris Harris, and that will say this all types of vile things and claim that he's for black people, he's fighting for black power and all this stuff, and he's light as a bedsheet. You know what I mean? And for somebody that wears a hat in the house 24/7, no matter when he's on camera, it shows somebody isn't. I'm not trying to take shots. This is not the video for me to be like firing off and stuff, because I got plenty of videos that I do that on. But it's somebody that's not comfortable with himself. It shows that. And you see a lot of this, like in these people that are trying to be leaders of other people and stuff. They're not in control, or they're not. Oh, you doing the Chris Harris impersonation? But a lot of people are. They're not confident in themselves to be themselves, and that's one thing that I always was raised to stop. Nigga, I'm trying to be serious, but a lot of these people are that's something that I was at a young age, like, and I guess it's the little subcultures I was into that really taught and really put in a lot of people to be themselves. You know what I mean? Not to be conformist, but to be yourself, right? And not to care what anybody says about it. You know, like that's one of the major things in the whole punk rock scene, and a lot of the little skateboarding, all the stuff that I was into, like graffiti and stuff. It was about being an individual. And that's what I see a lot of these people, they have a problem with being an individual. They have to cling on to something, cling on to a group. You know what I mean? To feel some type of way. And I've been doing a lot of videos on the whole LGBTQ community and stuff because I feel that is needed. And I'm going to do videos on other stuff. Like, I want to do stuff on people with disabilities, so-called disabilities. For instance, I was thinking about, like, with Negi, right? The group, the thing that you, before the whole Tour Nights thing, the thing, I forgot what y'all called it, Negi. What was it? The Aspergia thing, right?
That was kind of crazy because that was a guy who found something that was a disability and he kind of turned it into like an identity. It was like crazy.
Yeah. So something that had like, I can see where maybe it was, I didn't know enough about it. They haven't told me enough about it. I've read a little bit with the other people that the leader of it or whatever.
I could give you a brief. I could summarize it briefly for you just to make it real simple. It was basically the idea that according to Chris Gillen, people with Asperger's were a different like race type, so they were almost like a different people. Basically, he thought that we had some kind of special powers and abilities, and basically it was like the Hebrew Israelites.
That's what I'm about to say. Just like the Hebrew Israelites. But it would start from people feeling oppressed. I can say, right? The people that were like, you know what I mean, feel that they were made to feel less than the other people of the earth, or to be oppressed, and that they're human beings too, and they deserve the rights and to be able to enjoy life just like everybody, the so-called normal people. You know what I mean? So I want to start doing videos on that type of thing too, because this impressed people all over the world. But once again, I'm long-winded as hell. It's 18 minutes into the video, and I ain't really got to what I wanted to do yet. So I'm gonna start that right now. So before I start talking about something else, let me share my screen here. I'm gonna read this speech, and y'all gonna be surprised at what Mr. Black Panther, Black Power, Huey P. Newton says. Right? And I want y'all, after listening to what he said, or me reading what he said, is to take a look at the conscious community and what goes on over there and what they talk about. Because these people supposedly, because most of these Black conscious people, whatever, they're living in the past. They're living in the 60s and 70s. They're piggybacking what people in the 60s and 70s, what they think people in the 60s and 70s was about, right? So we gonna, and this is one man that it would basically be the poster boy of their movement or whatever, right? But little do they know what he really stood on. And it shows that these people don't understand what this man stood on and what that movement stood on, right? They took it, they let people take this history and twist it and turn it into something that it wasn't, and turn it into something that these people originally were fighting against. You know what I mean? So let me just get into it before I go off on another rant. Please feel free to join the panel. The links in the chat. It's in 1970, Huey P. Newton, the women's liberation and gay liberation movements. August 15th, 1970, Huey P. Newton, the co-founder of the Black Panther Party, gave a speech in New York City where he outlined the party's position on two emerging movements at the time, the women's liberation movement and the gay liberation movement. Newton's remarks were strikingly unusual since most conservative, moderate, and radical Black organizations remained silent on the issues addressed by these movements. The speech appears below. Now, this is deep. This is a year after there were riots from a bar that was raided. It was a gay bar that was raided. And I come to learn, too, that the Pride movement was started. I don't know how true it is. I haven't looked it up yet. I just heard this. Was started by a Black trans person. This movement, and there was riots that was started that this person had spearheaded and started against the people. During the past few years, strong movements had developed among women and among homosexuals seeking their liberation. There has been some uncertainty about how to relate to these movements. Whatever your personal opinions and your insecurities and homosexuality and the various liberation movements among homosexuals and women, and I speak of the homosexuals and women as oppressed groups, we must try to unite them in a revolutionary fashion. I say, whatever your insecurities are, because we very well know sometimes our first instinct is to want to hit a homosexual in the mouth and want a woman to be quiet. We want to hit a homosexual in the mouth because we are afraid that we might be homosexual. And we want to hit the woman or shut her up because we are afraid she might castrate us or take the nuts that we might have, that we might not have to start with. Now that's very deep what Huey P. Newton said, right? And we see that today in these blackology movements, like Hebrew Israelites, and you know where they'll say the Black woman got to listen to the man, and she supposed to learn in silence and be under all subjection and all this stuff, right? In most of the cases, it is because the woman will tell you the truth. I experienced when I was in IUIC Hebrew Israelites, where a man that was put in counsel and put on blast before the congregation, there was a sister on the way home. I was with the brother and his wife. The wife started to talk like, I don't think that was right. That was wrong how they did him. And she had a really good reason to say what she was saying. And she was shunned, and she was told to shut the F up. You know what I mean? And to keep her mouth and to shut her mouth. Woman, shut your mouth, woman. Right? And I felt so bad for her. She could see on my face. I mean, I'm looking at her like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't my wife or whatever, but I'm looking at her like, sister, you right. Right? I gave her that look. Like, You right. You know, don't worry about it. I know he cussing you out, about to bust you in your mouth right in the car, right in front of me. Don't worry about it. You be all right because you got sense. These bugs over here don't got sense, right? And it's a lot of it is a fear, right? It is because it needs to be said. It needs to be said. Just like I said, the civil rights movement was fought for. We got the rights, right? We got the laws passed, and what black people started doing, we'll continue doing, treating their LGBTQ people just like the so-called white man treated them. And the white man was joining along with them. Right? So it says we must gain security in ourselves and therefore have respect and feelings for all oppressed people. We must not use racist attitude that the white races use against our people. What I just said, because they are black and poor. Many times the poorest. And that's right. There's black kids that are part of that community that are getting kicked out of their homes just for being that way. Being something that they can't help. They're being disowned by their parents. They're getting kicked out. They're called all types of names. They're being humiliated in front of the whole family. Been made feel like they're less than nothing. And that's the same thing that how black people will go through in society. The same thing people with disabilities and stuff will feel like and get picked on, right? And it said white people are many times the poorest white person is the most racist because he is afraid that he might lose something or discover something that he does not have. Now, I did a video on this. Remember that woman that got choked up by JJ 7000? You know, and what? I came to her aid. I helped her understand what was going on, who this person was that attacked her, and all this stuff. And then what came out of left field? A whole bunch of racist stuff, right? But, you know, Killer B wasn't mad at it. Killer B saw it coming. This didn't say nothing to nobody. Killer B saw it, all the stuff there. Now, if I wanted to, I could go back and go real deep and show y'all how I knew how all this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. But I had an objective. I had something to take care of, right? Which I did. And then it arose. And I was like, well, here it is. We got to deal with it. And which I did. And I said this many a times. Some of the most racist white people are the poorest. I said that in my personal life. Most white people that I saw that was racist toward me wasn't doing better than me. Right? We see that in history in the South, where a lot of these people that was oppressing these freed slaves were the people at the bottom of the barrel of society. Not the rich people. It didn't affect them. It affected the poor of them. And I'll be damned if they was going to let some black person be over them. Do better than them. Get that job that they feel they should give to them because of their color. Right? It says white people is the most racist because he is afraid that he might lose something or discover something that he does not have. So you're some kind of threat to him. This kind of psychology is an operation when we view oppressed people and we are angry with them because of their particular kind of behavior or their particular kind of deviation from the established norm. Remember, we have not established a revolutionary value system. We are only in the presence. I do not remember or ever constituting any value that said that a revolution must say offensive things towards homosexuals, or that Mr. Harris, so-called Black Revolution, so-called self-proclaimed, hasn't done anything for the people, hasn't done a thing, but caused discord and make lies up just to make himself feel good, and does nothing for the people. I can show my work, what I've done for the people. I can have the witnesses come out here to tell you the work that I've done for the people in real life, in real time, and do for people when there was times I couldn't really do for myself, and I put the people ahead of me, right? Or Huey P. Newton continues to say, or that revolution should make sure that women do not speak out about their own particular kind of oppression. As a matter of fact, it is just the opposite. We say that we recognize the woman's rights to be free. We have not said much about homosexuals at all, but we might relate to the homosexual movement because it is a real thing. And I know through reading and through my life experience and observations that homosexuals are not given freedom and liberty by anyone in society. They might be the most oppressed people in society. Now, for this being in 1970, I find that is very true, right? Why I find that is very true? Because we see Neo X, right? Who's not homosexual. She says she's not, right? And her being what's the word? Humiliated, talked down to, because she displayed that she is her own person and that she uses logic. She uses common sense. And what happened to her? Mr. Sonnetter called her a bull dagger, right? Multiple times. Use that. Now, so-called Mr. Sonnetter, aka Dr. Salik Quran, right? And aka Frank Gary, right? Is supposedly was a president in the new Black Panther Party. For someone to want to be piggyback the original Black Panther Party, I find it's pretty strange and sick that he would have to come out of his mouth and say the things that he says, right? Same thing with Mr. Chris Harris that decided to try to humiliate Conscious TV, not even knowing who this man is, who this person is, right? So you see these people that are supposed to be fighting for your rights and doing all this stuff, right? But you see they don't fight or stand really for anything. For nothing. For nothing. They'll have a homosexual person on there to make fun of them or for views. Or have like you had the girl that got choked by JJ 7000. They didn't care. They could care less that who choked her. They wouldn't care if they took her life. They would actually clap and cheer for it. But what you saw them do, they didn't care about what happened to her. They didn't care that JJ did that. Just like Nagy Springfield joined the Solar Vision Debate League, right? And how they try to humiliate him in his interview. We see Mr. Harris.
Yeah. They had Chris Harris come on with a bunch of other booger eaters, and that was just that was great optics. But I had the funniest moment of all was when they asked, "So what did white people talk about around the Thanksgiving table?" Not you. Not you. None of you.
It was. Yeah, we wasn't thinking about none of you. Not the farthest thing for our minds when we sit down at the Thanksgiving table.
There's turkey, there's stuffing, there's other great things to eat. We don't care about no.
Yep. Pass the peas, please. That's what it's. Can somebody pass me the peas?
Like, what do black people talk about at the Thanksgiving table? White people, white people, white people.
And that's really what they did, though. They really wanted Nagy to say that black people, white people at the Thanksgiving Day table sit there and just talk about black people. And this is what they think. It's crazy. Like, it's unbelievable. Now, so white people with the mind like them, yeah, that's what they're going to be doing. Because these people have nothing else to do but sit there and talk about, oh, the white man doing this, the white man doing that, right? But what they doing? The same man that asked Nagy Springfield that was charged for indecency to a minor, doing lewd things to a minor, had numerous counts of it. So it's crazy. It is out of this world. When we sit back and just look at everything, and it's like, could be a cool. You got that white boy up there with him, but we sit here telling the truth. It don't matter. I can have goddamn Sport Goofy up here with me. Motherfucking Casper the Friendly goddamn Ghost. Motherfucking, I can have goddamn Crocodile goddamn Dundee up here with me. We can be telling the truth. If they out here with me, we gonna be telling the damn truth. Let me finish with this thing here. Huey P. Newton. These are the words that I'm reading are the words of Huey P. Newton of the Black Panther Party. Remember, we have not established a revolutionary. Wait, okay, I read that. So we have not. I just read this part. Then continue. We have not said much about the homosexuals at all, but we must relate to the homosexual movement because it's a real thing. And I know through reading and through my life experience and observations that homosexuals are not given freedom and liberty by anyone in society. And they might be the most oppressed in society. And what made them homosexual? What made them homosexual? Perhaps it's a phenomenon that I don't understand entirely. See, the man's being honest. And look, he can be very honest with what he says. Some people say that it is the decadence of capitalism. I don't know if that is the case. I rather doubt it. But whatever the case is, we know that homosexuality is a fact that exists. And we must understand it in its purest form. That is, a person should have freedom to use his body in whatever way he wants. That is not endorsing things in homosexuality that we wouldn't view as revolutionary. But there is nothing to say that a homosexual cannot be a revolutionary. And maybe I know injecting some of my prejudice by saying that even a homosexual can be a revolutionary. Quite the contrary. Maybe a homosexual could be the most revolutionary. When we have revolutionary conferences, rallies, and demonstrations, there should be a full participation of the gay liberation movement and the women's liberation movement. Some groups might be more revolutionary than others. We should not use the actions of a few to say that they are all reactionary or counter-revolutionary. Let me read that again. Some groups might be more revolutionary than others. We should not use the actions of a few to say that they are all reactionary or counter-revolutionary, because they are not. We should deal with the factions just as we deal with any other group or party that claims to be revolutionary. We should try to judge somehow whether they are operating in a sincere revolutionary fashion and from a really oppressed situation. See that? See that? We should try to judge somehow whether they are operating in a sincere revolutionary fashion. And that's what we should do when we look at Sinetter TV, Black News 102, when we look at Chris MVP Harris, when we look at, that's what we should be doing. Are these people sincere? When we look at ISUPK, are these people sincere about what they're talking about? Or is this some just agenda to get views, or some agenda to and you know, these niggas be buying views like I don't know what. Half these niggas out there, they buying views. They make it look like people want to listen to them. You know what I mean? To get more dope, because people will just watch people just because of the views that they got. Not what they got to say. It's how many views they got. This is like people think rap groups and stuff. Oh, this rapper she got 3 million views out there. Them niggas brought them goddamn views. The record label brought the views. They get canned and they back down to 25 views and shit a video. The money run out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, what I was reading here now. You said we should judge. Where else at here? We should judge. Yeah, judge somehow whether they are operating in sincere revolutionary fashion or from a really oppressed situation. And we will grant that if they are women, they are probably oppressed. If they do things that are unrevolutionary or counter-revolutionary, then criticize that action. What we do over here at the goddamn Witchfinder General show. If we feel that the group in spirit means to be revolutionary in practice, but they make mistakes in interpretation of the revolutionary philosophy and do not understand the dialects of the social forces in operation, we should criticize that and not criticize them because they are women trying to be free. That's another thing. And the same is true for homosexuals. We should never say a whole movement is dishonest when in fact they're trying to be honest. They are just making honest mistakes. And we see a lot of people out here that are true revolutionaries. But what? They're under people, or they're being guided by people that have no interest in that. They're being guided by people that are this. For instance, right? Neo X said, like, yeah, I only been in this whole conscious community for like 2 years. You know, after I watched the video, I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel you. I feel this and all that stuff, right? So she went and joined the thing, right? Get up on Sinetter and all that. She's shooting her, busting her gun up on there and everything, right? And then all of a sudden, she started to realize some things. That these people are counterproductive. Just like when we was in Torah Nights. I'm building websites, revolutionary websites. Because we were saying, because the Hebrew Israelites love saying that YouTube white people is trying to take down their videos because they're trying to stop the proof. So I said, so why are we up on their platform then? Why are we up on a white man platform? They can remember that. Nigga, you remember the websites I done too. Revolutionary.
Yeah,
I have
very good websites.
Yeah. Had my own sound, had our own SoundCloud on there, had our own Facebook, our own YouTube. It was called Nights TV. I think they were I named it Nights TV. Had our own thing to upload our own videos, our own Facebook, social media. Even had our own eBay. So we had products and things to sell and stuff. Brothers could be able to upload their things on it. I did all of that years ago. I was using these third-party streaming things and stuff way before anybody was using that shit. Way before. I still got one of the websites up on this thing with the debate league. I got a whole debate league on a website. And it's just sitting there. Because niggas really didn't want to do nothing. When we left, I tried to get Chris Harris. Chris Harris was like, yeah. But then he saw me doing it. He started stepping back. Right? Ignoring the thing, not wanting to input. I'm like, I'm trying to get this thing together. Let's go. No, because they got another agenda. They don't want productivity. They don't want to better anything. Especially if it's not coming from them. Especially if they're going to have to share it. They want it all for themselves. You see? Now, okay. At the same is true for homosexuals. We should never say a whole movement is dishonest when in fact that they're trying to be honest. They are just making honest mistakes. Friends are allowed to make mistakes. The enemy is not allowed to make mistakes because his whole existence is a mistake. And we suffer from it. This is Huey P. Newton, y'all. This is Huey P. Newton saying the things you don't want him to say. Saying the things that you ignore that he said. Y'all niggas would ignore the fact that this man said this. Y'all niggas ignore it. Who in the conscious community or whatever ever read any of this from this speech? None of them. None of them. Not one. Not one. You ain't never heard this nowhere else in the conscious community. You can hear it on the Killer Beat Show, then. You can hear it on the Killer Beat Show. So, we should be, all right. The enemy is not allowed to make mistakes because his whole existence is a mistake. And we suffer from it. But side netter and all that. You see that? He know he not really a black revolutionary. He knows he don't care about black people. He knows all of that. But we don't know it. The people over there don't know. He'll sit there and tell you, and you won't believe it. Huey P. Newton continues to say, but the Women's Liberation Front and the Gay Liberation Front are our friends. They are our potential allies. And we need as many allies as possible. We should be willing to discuss the insecurities that many people have about homosexuality. When I say insecurities, I mean the fear that they are some kind of threat to our manhood. Mr. Harris, the man that talk like this, and you know, people, I just need one in the room. I just need one in the room. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Boy, stop. And you see them stand up against it quicker than anybody else. Why is that? The women used to tell me in Torah nights, I don't like the way that man fixed his mouth when he talked. Now the woman gonna tell you. The woman gonna peep you out. A woman know a man when she see one. A woman know a man when she see one. Right? I'm gonna be busting my gun today, but I'm gonna bust my gun when I get a chance. You know what I'm saying? I'll be quick on the trigger. But anyway, because of the long conditioning process that builds insecurity in an American male, homosexuality might produce certain hangups in us. I have hangups myself about male homosexuality. See, he being honest. I got hangups myself. But on the other hand, listen what he say. On the other hand, I have no hangups about female homosexuality. Boom. There it is. See? And that is a phenomenon in itself. I think it's probably because male homosexuality is a threat to me and female homosexuality is not. We should be careful about using those terms that might turn our friends off, like the F word and punk. Should be deleted from our vocabulary. And especially, we should not attach names normally designed for homosexuals to men who are our enemies of the people, such as Nixon or Mitchell. I don't know who Mitchell is at that time. I know who Nixon is, right? Homosexuals are not enemies of the people. We should try to form a working coalition with the gay liberation and the women's liberation groups. We must always handle social forces in the most appropriate manner. Now, some of the people, I don't know if y'all caught this or not, but he said political groups that fought he wanted to be the one that fight politically. So not the booger eaters that want us to go back in ancient times, to go back to the goddamn Stone Age. He wasn't talking about that. He wasn't talking about that at all. He was talking about, I'm going to play that audio again.
Is there supposed to be some audio? Because I don't hear anything. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, I see. That's unfortunate. Well, he'll be back. He'll be back in a minute. But yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard that speech before. I've never seen it before. That's just crazy out there. You know, I wonder how many people would have turned on this guy. You know, if this has been made public or more public. A lot of people wouldn't have liked to hear that. They would have been angry. You know, more angry than they are to see me here. It's kind of funny. Every time I'm at work and I see somebody, there's people that I legit worry are gonna come up to me and be like, "Are you the dude that hangs out with Killer B?" I'd be like, "Oh shoot, should I got recognized?" That'd be kind of funny and freaky at the same time.
All right, sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to run that.
What's
back.
up, man? How you doing?
All right, I'm gonna have to run that back. But what he says, is that the people that are politically conscious. So he recognizes you're not going to take over the United States of America. We're not planning on taking this whole thing over and giving it to the booger eaters and be back in goddamn the Stone Age, like the Hebrew Israelites want us to be, right? Like the Nation of Islam want us to be, right? Take us back into some pseudo history that they say that happened back in centuries ago, right? So they play this again in case it didn't play all the way before. All right. So, in other words, all you blackity blacks, all you blackologists and Afrocentrists, y'all gonna have to throw out all this out the window.
Oh yeah, that's what I was just saying. I was saying that if people knew this, if they were more aware of this, they would be quite a bit angry.
Yeah.
They'd be throwing
No,
out.
they say, oh, that nigga in the CIA. The CIA set him up for that.
Yeah. It wasn't the CIA, it was the FBI. But yeah, FBI.
FBI set him up. He was the FBI plan to bring down the black man.
Well, the funny thing is they did actually use mental patients. They would dress them up like Black Panthers and they'd bring them to meetings and drop them off there, just leave them.
Yep.
It was
crazy people.
It was crazy because the funny thing is the Black Panthers could sniff out the plants. They could see who was not supposed to be there.
Right.
But they ended up having, in the new Black Panther Party, it's like all police and all crazy people.
Yeah.
They all look like cops. That's the funny thing. They all look like undercover officers. Like, I look at pictures of them and I'm like, man, if I was someone that was involved in something illegal, I would be like, avoid these people at every cost. Like,
right.
It doesn't matter. Avoid them. They're probably waiting to catch you doing something.
Now, in a way, like, the government does some foul shit. But in a way, I see why they have to do some of this stuff is to find out who's who. You know what I mean? So, like, they'll plant somebody in a group like this. Like, you see how these people, they want to work with everybody. It's not, they don't want to take over America and bring it back to the goddamn Stone Age. These people actually want America to change, new legislation to change, to give people equal rights. Human rights. That's what they're for. Not black rights.
Rights. That was the original Black Panther Party. Their motto was power to the people. But here's the thing. Here's the difference. The ones that they created recently, those guys are not the same.
No, totally opposite.
That's why I said they all look like undercover officers, and it's crazy because they've embraced the dark image of the Black Panthers. They've embraced the evil image created by the FBI.
Ooh, that's a good way of putting that, Nagy.
They've embraced that because there are many groups that do that. It's a common tactic. There'll be like an evil perception of a group or something, and that faction will embrace that dark side. Like the Order of Nine Angles. They basically embraced whatever people were scared of. Like when people were scared of Islam and terrorism, they embraced the Islamic terrorist.
Yep.
So it's like that.
And like these people, they'll drop somebody and say the Black Panther Party, and they're gonna watch, and they're gonna make a suggestion. Shit, I can get these goddamn guns and shit. We can take this shit over.
Oh yeah. It's like when Alex Jones was looking at these pictures of these guys in a militia, and he pointed out the one dude that didn't look inbred, and he's like, "This one's the Fed."
Yep.
This one's the Fed. He's like, "Yeah, they all look like their brother and sister, product of incest." And the funny thing is, he's like, "Yeah, this is the guy that's making suggestions." We should do a simulation like Red Dawn. Like the Russians are gonna come and invade
Yeah.
and
So
just crazy stuff.
what's up, Arcader and Eric Alexander? Thanks for stopping by. So they would plant people in these groups to fill everybody out and see who the nutcases, and they know who to watch. They were like, this like with the with Homeboy. That was what was his name in the Black Panther movie?
Oh.
Was that Eldridge Cleaver? Then what was the dude's name? I forgot who in the latest the Messiah, whatever Messiah movie about the Black Panthers.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that.
No, it wasn't Star. You didn't see that. That's a great movie, nigga. But anyway, they couldn't shake him. They would put the plants in there to stir up stuff. It's like, yo, we need to say this, for example, this paraphrase, like, oh, we need to go bomb this building. And he'll be like, for what? We don't need to do that shit. This is what we need to do right here. We need to sit here and we need to do this program and blah, 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 right? And some people might be like, man, that brother, he going on. We need to listen to this dude. He got the right idea. We need to blow these motherfuckers up. We need to blow these people up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was always the ones
FBI
that were
crazy.
Yeah, the crazy ones would fall.
Right. So the feds will use this to pick out all the people that are the potential danger to the nation. They sit there and watch everybody and all that stuff. Like the FBI infiltrated I'll read it today, the NAMBLA, the National, whatever they call it, Boy Lovers Group or whatever.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's the North
FBI
American.
agent
The name,
for like 3-4 years.
The name of that messed up group is called the North American Man-Boy Love Association, and it's horrible. I saw a documentary on it, and it horrified me. Like, scary.
And the feds went up in there and actually got some arrests. Like, some people were talking about it, and now the FBI wait until your ass act on it. The feds, they wait for your ass to act on it. And that's when they get you. You can say just about anything you want in America. You can say just about it, but when you act on it, that's when they come in. And that's one reason why I support these agencies in the United States, because they keep America safe sometimes, and in some place in time, I feel that they might have done some things that they shouldn't have done, or things that weren't ethically correct, however, the lack of better words of putting it, right? Things that they should have done, and they might have went too far with certain things. But all in all, that's their job, is to keep, I am better on, what's up, bro? To keep the nation safe, right? And it's safe from everybody. It could be Islamic radicals. It could be some damn boogie-eating blackologists. It could be some white supremacist group or whatever. It could be some old Asperger, crazy Asperger people. Know what I'm saying? Saying they the master, the Asperger people are the master race. You know what I mean? That's what they got to do.
I wish someone would. I almost wish someone would, because I would go insane that day. I'd be like,
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Arcader? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Long time.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know how when you just came up in here or you've been watching and started from the beginning or not, but I've been showing a speech that Huey P. Newton made in 1970 in New York City on him wanting to be in line with the women's liberation group and the gay liberation group. And the reason I did it is to show a lot. Do you look black in your avatar picture? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Yeah. You ain't black? What is it? I don't know.
Okay, you go on. Okay.
Yeah, so
okay, I was like, what was all that echoing? Okay, I figured it out. Go on.
yeah, so Huey made this speech how he wanted to be alliance with the gay liberation organization and the women's rights, the women's liberation group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that a lot of these so-called conscious community people, or AKA Blackologists, AKA you know, the Black Power people and stuff like that, they choose not to bring this fact up, while at the same time they will speak against these other groups that are being oppressed in America. Like I've done past videos, like on Black History Month 2 years ago on Bayard Rustin, and Bayard Rustin was an openly gay man that taught Martin Luther King how to do nonviolent protests. He's the one that taught Martin Luther King that, and he's also the man that organized the March on Washington, where he brought 250,000 people within 1 month for a rally at the Washington Monument. And it was so crazy is that they didn't even want this man to speak at his own thing he organized. And I said it's a disgusting thing that Black people has fought for the Civil Rights Act to be passed. And when it was passed, it was like it was never passed at all, because these people were still being oppressed. Not only by
that's one thing I'd say about the Civil Rights Act. It was important, not going to undermine it, but like in the long run, like what's the point of integrating in a society where you're still going to like still get still going to be the receiving end of punishment? It basically just ended segregation in like one. Not even wasn't in the whole continent. It was only in one part of the country, which was the South. You know, you look at parts of the West and the North, the West and the middle parts of America. Segregation wasn't there. Well, not in law, but in spirit, it was.
Yeah.
And so, like I say, like I think what could have benefited the civil rights was instead of advocating for civil rights, they could have had economic power, because it will come naturally, in my opinion. Like civil rights will come naturally. They're going to need that Black vote because guess what? They got that money. Money speaks.
Right.
Look at the Latino community. Like you got some I recently saw a video about I think how the Latino community just built their own political power from the ground up, because the community, the mayor was constantly breaking promises. I think called broken promises, and they just put their dolls together, worked, and did everything by themselves. Didn't need anyone. They said we don't need the Republican Party or the Democrat to do it. We'll do it by ourselves. And I thought damn.
Yep.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. I'll see you, man. Take care.
All right, see ya.
All right, Naggy.
All right, see ya.
The old weirdo will pop up in here and try to disrupt stuff, but we don't care. We don't care about nobody asking what I look like and stuff. You can go over there where the people say, "Oh, hey, Queen," and all that. You can go over there and go do that. We don't do that over here. But anyway, back to the conversation.
Right. Go on.
I find it kind of crazy because after this thing was passed, and then fast forward to Barack Obama, where a lot of these Black people insisted that Barack Obama was supposed to do something for Black people.
Right. I hear that a lot. I hear that. I hear that for the whole past decade. I was I wasn't those excited folks that oh, Obama became president. Then I saw nothing changed.
Yeah. And I was a Hebrew Israelite when he became president, so I cared less when he became president. I was the hell with Barack Obama and all that, right? But now I look at him special because what he did was people say, oh, he just helped them gay people, right? But the gay people needed it. Black people had all this time. Black people got what they wanted. And what they did, they turned around and kept oppressing other people that were being oppressed more than them. And now it was a great thing, especially for the Black LGBT community, it was a good thing that they weren't embraced by Black society. And check this out why I'm saying this. The reason I say this is if they was, they would have fell victim to a lot of things that Black people fell victim to. Just like these cults, these Black cults, these Black ideologies, Afrocentric ideologies that telling you all types of false, crazy stuff.
Right,
so,
right.
Since they didn't want those people part of their little movements or whatever, the people had to organize amongst themselves.
Exactly. That's one thing I feel like a lot of Black people don't understand. No, Black people do understand that, but it feels like they want to be like, Louis Farrakhan or Jesse Jackson. They want to be the face of the movement, but not really actually do the work, heavy duty to actually make change. The one thing I know is a lot on YouTube, on the Black side of YouTube, on like various sides on the Democrat side and the conservative side, that they enjoy sort of making a punching bag of Black people. And I'm looking at that and saying, like, they talk about all this division and stuff, but they contribute to it.
Yeah.
There's like this one channel I watched that I just had to stop watching called AK News, and he's reports on like a lot of like Black criminality, stuff that goes unreported, or so they say, because you know how those news channels on YouTube, you see those local news channels,
right?
And
I've come across a lot of those. Yep.
They report that, so I go against the narrative, and I feel when I watch his channel, he makes all this clickbait content and disparages his people, saying like, I hate some people, but it's constantly in his mouth. I'm like, it makes him money,
right?
And that shit pissed me off. It's like, no, I can't watch this. It's demoralizing. That to see people like
they don't want anything good to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
If it changed, they would be out of business.
Exactly.
They won't have nothing to complain about or to con people with.
Exactly.
Notice saying that stuff coming out, they use that to con the people.
Exactly.
Con innocent people.
Not just, but also like from people like who talk about cancel culture, because hey, if I can't say I don't want to, I'll pay someone else to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been a grip for years upon end. And it's successful when that's the annoying part, because you do not see it in any other community, not in the Latino community, not in the Asian community, not in the LGBT community. You don't see that at all. It's only in the Black Sister YouTube, and these people contribute to it. They talk about when will Black people wake up, and still talk about the nature of Black people. That's when I watch constructive content by Black people, it puts a smile on my face. Like one of my favorites is Black Experience Japan. You probably heard of this guy before.
I did hear that before.
Yeah, fantastic dude. He actually goes around Japan, bringing positivity, showing people, Black people in Japan, how they're able to be successful. So that's the type of content that actually needs to be done. There's this, the manosphere, dating and stuff like that from people who don't even like have women in their life and stuff like that. It's like,
it's wild, man. And like I was saying, like when Barack Obama, he helped these people because they helped themselves. Exactly. They had all this time to be amongst themselves and organize, and to help laws get passed and all this stuff. And they did it. And Barack was like, yo, I'm helping y'all. Y'all did the work. While we sit here, like, where any of these Black power or conscious community people ever done anything? They've done nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Ain't done nothing. The Hebrew Israelites have been around since the damn 60s. And they ain't produced nothing.
They did do things, but the problem is that it was all misdirected. They were to build jobs and stuff for the community, then they done squandered it.
Yep.
I didn't think like no goddamn jobs. So like they could have preserved at least a job. At least I can understand the movement being psyops and stuff like that, but the jobs, they like to build jobs, preserve that knowledge at least.
How much it costs to get a corner store and employ a couple of brothers to work in there? They ain't got no corner store. They ain't got no supermarket. They ain't got nothing. They got an oil table where they go to Medina and Brooklyn and buy them oils and incense from Medina for cheap. And they sit there and cut the oils with baby powder and stuff and make them people sit out there in those oil tables and then take all their money. Look at the Nation of Islam. You got to buy those papers with your own money. You have to buy them up front with your own money, sell them, and debate your like 10, 15 cent a newspaper. You make 10, 15 cent and sit out there on the street and sell them damn newspapers. They haven't produced anything. Nothing. These niggas is getting rights where they changing the damn signs on the damn bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying, like,
well, people believe
they have the political
agree
muscle.
with that or not. They did it.
Exactly. They need the muscle. And I feel like, when black people do it, they'll have nothing to complain about anymore.
Yeah. And then all these people go away. But these people don't want to go away.
Because they like it, partially.
Yeah.
It makes them feel somewhat important, like combative with people.
Right. Yep. Making themselves feel important. And they can be out here doing something productive in society. No, they want to, their lives is miserable and they want everybody else's lives miserable.
Yeah.
Just like the person who we had in the chat. Right? And I'm going to play a little something from this dude on our channel that I got the speech from. I knew their whole stance on the community and everything, the Black Paper stance in the community, but I didn't know about the speech. So, like, I found this channel and he spoke on it and he said something else that was cool too. I'm going to play a little something from it.
All right.
Listen to what this dude says here. It's a channel called Conscious Lee.
Conscious Lee. Conscious Lee. I think I heard of that channel before. Conscious Lee.
Yeah, I just found him today. I've never heard of him. Never heard of him. Let's check this out.
Yeah, that guy. Okay, I knew it. Conscious Lee. Yeah, that guy. I think he was the guy who commented on Thomas Silva, which I do agree with.
Say that again.
Yeah, I know Conscious Lee. I've seen some of his videos before. I think he's one of those left-leaning African Americans. Not to have a problem with that.
From what his channel, he's pretty much well-rounded and like an activist and stuff. I haven't listened to any other video except this one. I just subscribe to his channel and stuff. So, but I liked what he said in this video so far. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. So let me play it and so let's see what he says here. It's another one.
I cannot hear that thing. What's the video called?
Now I gotta do a video on this. I jabbed at it a little bit, but I got a whole book that I share with a couple people too, and they're gonna start tearing people ass up with it. This whole narrative that there was no homosexuality and sexuality in Africa until the white man.
That stuff when I think the wife, husband, and male wives, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that sexuality.
Yep, boy wives and woman husbands or some shit like that is called. Yep, and it goes through all through Africa. It show it. It show pedophilia. It show homosexuality. It shows transgenderism. It shows all of that pre-colonial. before the white man got there.
Fascinating stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I just saw somebody do a video or put up a video. Oh, yeah. It was a clip from the buck breaking video. I can't play it because they're the show flag it, right? Where he was saying that, oh, yeah, see, what they did, see, they buck break this and they took the biggest man and they emasculated him and all, because this is what they do. This is their culture. And then they go to the whole Roman thing and how they had the little boys, how the Roman soldiers and stuff had the little boys that they would mess with and stuff like that. But you see the same thing in Africa. The same exact thing. Yeah, I could go to Japan and show the same goddamn thing. And pre-white man. The Japanese, it was common for a Japanese married man to have a little boy lover. It was a common thing.
Yeah, even for the samurai, I think what they called them was something was a Y.
Now, I thought it was just the samurai. Then I found out, no, it was the whole guy. It was everybody. It wasn't just samurais doing this. It was a norm in society. And that these people would have wives too. And that the wives would get little boys also.
Oh yeah, definitely women who like that's why the freaking industry in Japan in terms of entertainment.
And it wasn't until Christianity got there that stopped the people from doing it.
For better or for worse.
You know what I'm saying? And while the blackity blacks, the whole black power conscious community people would tell you that no, the white people got there and they started the homosexuality. These white missionaries was Christians. They was killing people in Europe over that shit. They was pulling people arms and legs off for that shit. You know what I'm saying? They was murdering people for homosexual acts and stuff at that time.
Insane.
So the white man, they wasn't down. The white man was not down with that shit at that time. Before the Christianity and stuff, hell yeah, they was down. But when that Christianity came through, they wasn't dealing with that shit like that. Yeah, there was people that was doing it. Yeah, there was people that were doing it. But as a society, as a Christian society, oh hell no. And one of the things they said when they came into Africa, the missionaries was like, yo, these motherfuckers is over here gay as a motherfucker. He said they doing all kinds of crazy shit over here. They got records of the missionaries writing about the people in the land. Writing about the shit. And these motherfuckers will sit here and tell you, no, they was all straight until the white man got there and started molesting all of them and all this shit. Like, motherfucker, they was molesting motherfuckers way before their asses got there. Just like the Native Americans and stuff. So what about the white man brought it to Native Americans? What Native Americans called it a two-spirit person.
Right, yeah, that.
And then they would tell a person to go in the tent, and they said they would have like a weave basket and a bow and arrow. And whatever one he or she come out with, that's how they associated the person. You know what I mean? Like, hey, he came out with the weave basket, not the arrow. So this nigga, he kind of light as loafers, like as they could say. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they dealt with him. And it wasn't dealt with in a mean way. It was just like, yo, when the women go out there and weave baskets or
Hello? It's just me. It's just all me. Oh, wait a bit.
All right, there go the noise I was looking for. I knew something was going wrong. I heard the noise, that hum. I was saying, wait a minute. I asked, was you here? Yeah, man. Internet got jacked up. But yeah, let me finish playing what Homeboy was saying here. See? See?
I can't hear. What's the video called?
You say you can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh shit. Damn, why you can't hear it? That's crazy. All right, maybe I should share the screen. Maybe that's weird. You can't hear it. You can see if this works. All right.
I see that.
On some weird shit and pseudoscience.
Did you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, all right. So let me back it up then. Let me back it up. You probably didn't hear what was said before.
With some shit, but he was going somewhere. This is not endorsing things in homosexuality that we wouldn't view as revolutionary, but there is nothing to say that a homosexual cannot be also revolutionary. And maybe I'm now injecting my own prejudice by saying that even a homosexual can be a revolutionary. Quite the contrary. Maybe a homosexual could be the most revolutionary. I'm going to repeat that because I think that was extremely profound and important. And I know a lot of y'all niggas be faking in front and acting like y'all so pro-black, acting like you so Afrocentric. You haven't picked up no books. You haven't read like that. You feel me? You as a matter of fact, how can you be against white supremacy? I'm gonna take this out. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Let me know if I'm tripping about this. How can you be against white supremacy but give white supremacy more power than it has? How can you say that white supremacy has not created things but it's manufactured homosexuality? Do you not understand anything about the homeland, about East Africa, West Africa, like literally what was going on in terms of gender and sexuality before European colonialism, before European, contact? The reason why we say that gender is a social construct because we recognize that pertaining on the society that we're talking about is going to have a specific gender construct. You feel me? Just like in terms of blackness, there's a multiplicity in indigenous peoples. You feel what I'm saying? Depending on what region or what tribe we're talking about here in the Americas, that tribe, because gender is social construct, they had a different social construct for how they might see gender. Some tribes in Africa and in the Americas practice that was up to like 5 or 6 genders. A lot of those, you feel me, tribes didn't even gender a child until they were 5 or 6. So a lot of y'all be lost on the sauce of the genitalia and be hyper focused on your kid's sexuality on some weird shit and pseudoscience. Well, man, if it got this and then it's this, and if it got this and then it's that. Why do you give so much credit to our ancestors for being so above and ahead of his time when it comes to math, science, and all those great things? But when it comes to the way they understood gender, you want to either A, say it didn't exist, pick some conspiracy theory and try to pick at it. Why do we do that? If you really had a quest for intellect and a quest for knowledge and a quest for education, like why do you take the fun?
There you go.
Damn.
And that's what I've been saying. That just like I did the thing with the where I trolled everybody with the with the Nat Turner thing. I said Nat Turner was gay, nigga. Nat Turner was gay because in the book there was a gay scene in the book. Now everybody that tells the Nat Turner story gets the story from that book. So why do they leave out the part that he's gay in the book? Now, if somebody tell you the story of Nat Turner, they got the story from that book. But they want to admit the part in the book where there's a gay scene in it. They won't tell you that. What's ill about it, it shows how much people research what's being told to them. How many people read that Nat Turner book?
I'm guilty of that to an extent. Not because I don't do research, or I just do when I do research. I don't like doing it because I'm a procrastinator. But like I don't take things at face value. I look deeper into it to see if it, because that's what most people don't do.
But most of this shit you can find out in 5 minutes.
Right. Like I already got like some PDFs of like a Malcolm X and an MLK autobiography, so I can make time to read it. And some other stuff like pre-colonial Africa and stuff like that. I'm doing the research on African spirituality and stuff like that. Which I found some good stuff because I'm an artist. I want to trace other folks on parts of Africa. We have so many creators use Asian mythology or white mythology, but I don't see enough African mythology. I want to change that. I want to change turn the tables.
Yeah. Whenever you want to talk about any of that stuff, man, I gave you a platform to do it on. I definitely want to hear it and see all the stuff and stuff you've been studying too.
Yeah, there was this recent channel I just recently checked out called Afroculture Concept, where he discovered that a tribe in Africa called the Dogon actually had a concept of astronomy, of the Big Bang Theory, even before it became commonly known.
I did a video on that. That's not entirely true. I did a video on that. I did a video on the Dogon with that. It's something I forgot what was the details to it, but it was like a pseudo thing. It's like it was almost like a coincidence. It was somebody that went there and they made that up to say that they had all this stuff before that. I gotta find the video. I got it on my channel. It should be in the lessons playlist somewhere up in there. I did it like 2 years ago because I thought about that too, and I went straight to it. And then I was doing some research, and it came out that it wasn't entirely like true. I'm not saying that it wasn't completely true, but I'm just saying because I forgot what it was about. Like I did the study on it and did the video and stuff, but I totally forgot like what the details were and stuff. But it was like a partial truth or like something that was kind of what's the word I want to not that was lacking the word I'm looking for, like hyped up to
hyperbole or like exaggerated.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to say. Exaggerated.
So I'm looking through the
video. It's definitely on my channel though. Where I don't know. Out of the damn 700 and something videos. Good luck finding that shit. But if you probably could go in on my channel page and where you could search like my videos and stuff and put in Dogon, it should come up. It should definitely come up. Yeah, but like these people, like they don't like he said, you want to, and that's why people gravitate towards Egypt so much. Because Egypt is the most colorful, the most exciting, the most like if you want to brag about something, you would go to Egypt. But when it comes to what I'll call the Oonga Boongas and fucking Lower Africa and Central Africa and shit, where they got the motherfuckers in the jungles and shit, ass naked and shit, nobody want to talk about that. But they did a lot of things too for the world. Damn. These people were really inclined with like medicine and all this stuff shit. The goddamn white man go there and learn about medicine and shit, and they bring it to America and turn it into pills.
Right. Witchfinder, is that lesson on the Dogon in any of your lessons videos?
Yeah. Well, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it for you.
I want to get some at least a fair amount of accurate information about that, because when I hear about like that Dogon information, okay, that's fascinating.
Dude, let me see. See if it comes up here. Let's see. Logan and Doggy. I don't know how it's
Okay, Black Cloth, early America, Slay the Rich Child, Medicine, Divination, Bones of a Woman, Afrocentric, Hyperdiffusion, The Fall, Black Civilization. Oh, what's this one? Eurocentric. Okay, Eurocentric with blackface.
Well, you read it off my videos?
Oh no, I'm just looking at your titles, trying to.
Oh shit! You saying titles I don't even remember doing. That's why I'm like, huh?
Black, race that. Halo, Maybell, the story of the Congo slaves, 19th century. The white supremacist doctrine debunked. The beasts of the field are not human. Was John Hanson the first one in the United States? The Black Man's Special. More keen to choose about more history. Your ancestors, a new blog, blah, 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 blah. Your ancestors, okay, blah, 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 blah. Israelite codes, but blonde hair, Egyptian mummies, let's investigate. It's gonna take a long ass. Well, only like I don't see it here, but maybe like I'll go like video by video.
It could be a video that I never tagged to a playlist too. So that shit could be anywhere. I just searched Dogon across my channels and it didn't come up.
I think you should make another video covering that video then.
Yeah, I'll do that then. Because I've been doing that too. Like some of the old videos I did, I kind of like rehashed them and try to make them a little shorter versions and stuff like that. So that's something I might have to do. Because somebody brung that up actually not too long, like a week or two ago. Somebody brung up that. I was on another channel and somebody brung it up. I didn't get a chance to speak on it and stuff. And that's funny that you came out here and just brung that up. Shit, I can't even think. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what it is. Shit. I'm surprised the Dogon. I thought I could have swore I had a Dogon in the thing. I'll try to find it tonight after the show.
All right.
Or at least find the information and I'll put it in the community page.
Okay.
Yeah, but like you see here how this dude is saying is like they just want to take certain parts. What up, Shamian? They want to take certain parts and hype that up, and then the things that aren't so glamorous or that some things that are embarrassing, they don't want to speak on, right? Or the things that they think society looks down on, they don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like you go to the Bakongo and stuff, like they'll talk about like Christianity, and they embrace Christianity. The Bakongo people, when the Christianity came there, they embraced it because it was just like their religion. It was almost identical.
With the Congo, like you like
no problem with it.
Like the Ifa or something different?
No, like the Bakongo religion.
Congo religion, okay, like that.
From the Congo, like the Bakongo people.
I don't even look into that.
They use symbols, they use the cross in their worship and stuff like that. Their gods are white. You know what I mean? Like they put deities, and the deities will be light-skinned people. Not saying that they worship white people, but saying that they looked at their deities as lighter skin, like you would look at call a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like you say a ghost and stuff, it'll be pale. Or we look at a ghost with a white sheet over his face. It's always the same thing. So they would see Jesus, right? It would just be this white man, this picture of this white man, and they'd be like, shit, that's one of the goddamn spirits. You know what I mean? And
wow.
There was a thing that I listened to, and they was talking about, the Christians came here. It was talking about a war. It was this hometown university or something the channel's called. There's a good channel. They do a lot of Black African history.
Home team history?
Yeah. And they pretty much be on point. Like I very seldom disagree with them. Like most of the stuff they put out, I totally agree. But I think they kind of bent some truth on this one video that I saw they did. I don't know if it was a recent video or not that I watched. It was today, this morning, or yesterday. And they said that how the Christians came here and they put it and they made a little side comment. This is the worst thing that could have happened, right? Because they were saying, you know how eventually there were wars and stuff in Africa, you know, and you know the so-called Europeans and stuff took advantage of it and gained control of the country and all this stuff, right?
Right.
Now they talk about how they came there, the Portuguese or whatever came there and brought Christianity. Now it says a century later, this is such and such broke out where they had some trouble starting. So I'm like, a whole goddamn century? So these people lived amongst these Christians, or these Christians lived amongst these African people in harmony, but a century later? So you're going to put this whole race of people coming to Africa and say that they wicked as hell just because 100 years go by and some shit pop off. You can get that in America. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like saying black people. Everybody looked down on black people the lowest thing on earth a century ago. Now look at black people in America now. A whole goddamn century. You know how many people done been born and died in 100 years? You know what I mean? So they can't necessarily say that these people came here with wicked intentions. Because these people came here, you know, to make trade and stuff like that. And of course, to make money, hell yeah. They came in to make money too. And then you got the missionaries that came there to spread Christianity and all that stuff, which the Bakongo people is documented that they embraced it quickly. Like instantly they embraced it. Because it was so similar. And this is something that was different from the Catholics and the Protestants. Black relations with Protestants and black relations with Catholics, or African relations with Protestants and Catholics, totally different. Like you got slavery in America and say slavery in Cuba, right? In Cuba, it was the Catholics. In America, it was Protestants. Now, the slavery under the Protestants was more severe because the Protestants were like zealots almost. There was no compromise. Oh, hell no, nigga. You not worshiping that shit with my goddamn I'm trying not to swear on this video. Worshiping this with my Jesus, where the Catholics would be like, Catholics let them have wiggle room. So, okay, you can praise Jesus and do your little African dances too. Why are you praising these Jesus? Or how they might venerate the saints and stuff like that, right? They're like, oh, you worship the saints with some coconuts and this and this and that, and maybe sacrificing an animal or something, right?
Right.
The Catholics will allow you to do that. As long as you say you love Jesus, they would allow it. They always use rule. They always use what's the word for it? Like they wanted to be on good terms with the people.
The restraint.
What's the word you use?
Restraint.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could probably say that. Like they
weren't too dogmatic. They weren't too dogmatic about it.
Yeah, they didn't enforce their rules like strictly. You know what I'm saying? They still allowed the people to be themselves. Just like when they came to the Americas with like people in South America, they saw that one of their deities was basically just like Jesus. So they let them worship Jesus as the deity. You know what I mean? So and they showed them, so it was a way for them to bring them to Christianity. They let them get away with certain things. So like they weren't like really like, oh hell no, they wasn't willing, they didn't want to basically cut off a whole culture.
Right.
They knew that these people had a culture. So they didn't want to totally take their culture away. They just wanted them to believe in Jesus. As long as they believed in Jesus, that was cool. But if you reject Jesus and was eating people, that was something totally different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did a video not too long ago when it talked about how when the Spanish came into America, and because somebody was talking about there was an Indian chief called the Black Warrior, and people tried to say that he was a black man, but that was just the name of the warrior. He was called the Black Warrior. It wasn't because he was black, right? But you know, to add those people and stuff like that, they're gonna say, the Indians is black, and that's not actually the case of why they said that. But it was poor Spaniards that came to do the reconnaissance or to do the exploring. They used these Spanish that were from the country. They're like farmers. They lived out in the country and stuff. Where the well-to-do Spanish, they wouldn't be caught dead doing some wicked stuff to somebody because they was too bourgeois, like, you know, they was too bougie to do wicked things like that. You know what I'm saying? They dressed proper, they talked proper. Their whole family structure was about being like, you know, righteous and you know, politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how they show the English people like back in the day, you know, they be all politically correct. They eat their food a certain way, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They put the napkins on their lap at the dinner table. Like they're like that. But the people that they sent over here was people from the country, people that didn't have money like them. So these people, they kind of like, they didn't embrace that royal persona as the rich people did in Spain. So they would see things like, okay, and some Indians was cool. There was a lot of Indian tribes that was cool with the white man.
Right.
Right? And they always was cool with them. And there's some that were just out of pocket. Like they would say, oh, these Indians are good people. You know, they taught us how to farm these certain vegetables and plants and stuff. And they might run into the Comanches or the I don't know, what's another one? Blackfoots, something like that. And these niggas was eating people. They was going to war with other Indians and eating them. And they'd be like, oh, hell no, we're not messing with them. We're killing them. And they'll go and kill that tribe. You know what I mean? It's off the rip war with them because they eating people. So according to their Christianity, like that's evil. That's straight satanic. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the other Indians, they're like, they don't know nothing about Jesus. They don't believe in Jesus, but they're living a civilized life. So we cool with them. But these niggas that's eating motherfuckers, eating people, they gotta go. They gotta go. So it just showed how the people think. But what a lot of these Afrocentrists would tell you, they will leave all of that stuff out and only tell you negative things and fabricate the negative information.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would say, oh, these Spaniards almost wiped out this Indian tribe and stuff, right? But they won't say that those Indians was eating people, or that they was doing all types of other crazy stuff, right? To give the people a reason to want to kill them. You know what I mean? Like if we go to somebody's house and we look in a pot, we'll see what they cooking, and you see some eyeballs in that motherfucker. Like you're not going back to that house.
Right.
You tell your kids, don't you take your behind over so-and-so house. They over there eating eyeballs. You know what I mean? You're not going with it. You're not messing with them. You might call the damn police. But you go to somebody else's house and stuff, and you know they cooking your regular food that you eat. You know what I mean? They acting proper and stuff like that. They cool with them. So it wasn't like these people, just brutal murderers, just going out just killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things they leave out. I did a video on this too. The Black Conquistadors. There was a lot of Africans that came over with the Spanish exploring. Not as slaves, freemen, as freemen.
So that story about that Angola slave true too?
The Angola, yeah, ain't that what was his name?
I
don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, there was Africans that came over here with the explorers. As explorers, not as slaves. You know, they probably had slaves too, but
in America,
Africans could have had slaves with them too.
In America, right?
In America.
Oh,
and they said, I got a peer-reviewed journal that got where they talked about how the Africans, how Mexico got a heavy African influence.
Can you give me some names? Okay, I gotta look into that.
Shit, I gotta. You can search Black Conquistadors. That should have come up on my channel.
Like Black
Don't ask me how to spell that shit.
Conquistador.
It's a black dude with one of them Spaniard hats on.
Yeah, Conquistador. Yeah, that remind me of the Black Vaqueros or Black Cowboys.
Oh, dude, I was gonna do a video, but I couldn't find that much research on it. Yo, I played it the other day on my channel. That a lot of these cowboys are homosexual.
Oh, for real?
Yo, it's crazy. I watched this video, yo. I was like, well, goddamn. I was like, that's some shit right there. And then it made me think about it. I was like, yo, that shit makes sense. Cause like when you watch TV and stuff, you'll see the cowboys dancing together, and it says that they would be some cowboys that would have younger cowboys or the cow hands as lovers, and that they would, along with, you know, they out on the trail. There ain't no women out there, and they said that the cow hands would take the role of the woman with the cowboy, and they would actually have unions, like basically almost like a marriage.
Wow.
Where one of the cowboys would sit on the paddy wagon and cook dinner and clean clothes and all that stuff. And the person, they got pictures of them. Got pictures of them sitting there hugging each other and everything.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And the same thing with the pirates. How the Caribbean has a real anti-homosexual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Before all of that, the pirates, it was a known place for pirates to go and get married in the Caribbean.
Insane. So much history that we don't know about.
Yeah. It's wild, yo. It's a lot of history. A lot of history. You know how they say, I don't know if you're probably young. You probably never heard this before. They said steers and queers are in Texas.
Yeah, I never heard that. The steers and queers are in Texas.
Yep. So that's what they was getting at. The cowboys being gay. And then you got the black dude, what's his name? Wild Bill. Is it Wild Bill Hickok? Nah, not Wild Bill Hickok. What's his name, man? It's something with a P. Bill Pickett. Bill Pickett. Big Bill Pickett is like a black country. I don't know if he was a country singer. Wait, let me look up what Bill Pickett actually was. I know he was in movies and stuff like that too. Let me look it up. Bill Pickett. Bill Pickett. Yeah, American Cowman. Let me share the screen so you can see it.
Man, it's been some constructive time.
There you go, Bill Pickett. Willie M. Pickett was American cowboy, rodeo performer, and actor.
All right, Bill Pickett. That's all right. That's someone I could look into.
Yup. Now they got a Bill Pickett rodeo.
Really?
Now the Bill Pickett rodeo. Wait, hold on a second. I don't know if he got two separate ones or is they all the same. Okay, for black cowboys and cowgirls. All right, now there was a gay Bill Pickett rodeo. Let me see what it says for that. I don't know where I saw that shit at. I thought his rodeo that's what it was. But maybe it was a separate thing. It might have been some separate thing or something.
Most likely.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Hold on. University of Washington. In an era when a nation is divided among political and geographical lines, Lil Nas X desired to leverage the stardom into expanding the increasingly narrow definition of cowboy deserves a deeper look at. As I demonstrated in my book, Outriders, Rodeo at the Fringes of America West. The cowboy has always
that's a good name.
It said the cowboy has always been a contested figure in the American imagination, and many groups of people have claimed cowboy identities despite being written out of popular narrative. For many, the cowboy has always been black and gay.
I thought it was Latino. I thought it was Latino in origin.
Yeah, they didn't even show the Latinos being homosexual, and that the women being homosexual too. Said working cowhands in the 19th century were often working class men of color, influenced by the mounting herding tradition of Mexican vaqueros. American cowboy culture emerged along the cattle trails of former slave states. Enslaved and free black men alongside native Creole and Mexican people made up a significant portion of the cattle industry, both before and after the Civil War. These are not solitary heroic figures. They were wage laborers in a rapidly industrializing country. These class and racialized realities of working cowboys were present in early version of Western performance, even as the figure of the cowboy steadily became whitewashed by Jim Crow segregation and mythologized in dime novels, Wild West shows, and early rodeo. Black cowboys, whether popular individuals like Bill Pickett, a respected African American rodeo cowboy, or entire black communities like Bowie, Oklahoma, carved out places for themselves in Western performance, feeding an ever-growing number of black riding associations and rodeo circuits.
All right. You got put that in the community tab. Put that in the community tab.
Okay.
Well, that's some constructive information.
Yeah, I'll be on it. And that's why I try to look for stuff that, like, you know, the people not talking about, or the stuff that people talk about. I try to look into it deeper and find out what they missing or what they want to leave out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I do it in the community post. I'll put it in the chat too for anybody else that's watching.
Right. This is some fascinating information.
Let me show you this video. The Black Cowboys video. You can be like, oh shit. You're gonna laugh about the shit. You can be like, well, goddamn. It's a weird YouTube channel and shit. Like, it's bugged out. It like mixes really good information with some like over the top, like really like too much type information. Like, yeah, they like I said, they be doing too much on this channel. You motherfuckers be like fucking having porn up on this motherfucking shit. I'd be like, yo, God, come on, man. How you gonna call it the Black Gay History Channel and have bullshit like this up on it? You be doing too much. Wait, hold on, I get it. Period. Where is it? It is at the Harlem Renaissance. They don't really give any really good sources, but they definitely outline.
Mission.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Black Gay History Channel.
Check it out.
Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. Cowboys are important historical figures in American culture and iconography. Many people equate the idea of cowboys as manly gunslingers, and on some level this may be true. But over the years, the truth about who cowboys actually were became obscured by racism and homophobia.
Now, my father told me this. He said a cowboy was always black. And he said the reason you know that is because they called him a boy. Said the only grown man they called a boy was a black person.
Made cowboys seem like white history
Yeah, I heard that before.
figures. And homophobia erased the truths of real Western life. Experts and scholars on American Western history who have read firsthand accounts of the real Wild West leave no room for mistaking. The real Wild West was much blacker and gayer than Hollywood would lead us to believe. Cowboy work, which usually consisted of cattle or sheep herding, mining, hunting, or trapping, was considered dangerous men's work, where groups of men would live off in the wilderness with no women in sight. These types of settings always attracted men who would seek out male intimacy or simply were open to these relationships. The term cowboy was specifically meant for black young men who were considered a lower rank than the cowhand, who was usually white.
See?
During this period, many young black men were ex-slaves, and cowboy jobs were considered a dangerous last resort for poor young men with little means and no social status. Many cowboys began to work as teenagers and never grew past the age of 21. Older, bigger, and stronger cowboys could take advantage of the younger cowboys in creating...
Look, transgender.
Real
I
sweet.
forgot his name, but that's supposedly the first black transgender or whatever in the United States or whatever.
Possibly even forcing sexual and romantic relationships.
Drag performer or some shit like that.
Straight the point. A lyric from a real cowboy tune that was sung on the range goes, "Young cowboys, they have a great fear that old studs, once filled with beer, completely addle, they throw on the saddle and ride them on the rear."
Hear that shit?
Ride them on the rear.
You say like they didn't even had songs about this shit. Like, I'm like, well, goddamn.
Absolutely.
Many men, though.
See, that's what I'm saying.
This is a game changer.
Yeah, this is a damn sure a game changer. This is crazy. Like, but it's history. This is what it was. This like certain people chose certain occupations based on certain things in some cases. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Willingly participated in what was called bachelor marriages, where unmarried men would be in romantic relationships for many years. One man would usually do the hard labor out on the range, while one would watch camp and do the housework. Campsites with several men doing similar work were common, where many of these cowboys were African, Asian, and Latino, making for an interesting exchange of cultures and even interracial romantic relationships. Historians have even noted that many of these men held same-sex dances, where some men would take on the dance role of the women.
Now, I've seen this many a times in old cowboy movies when I was a little kid. The cowboys holding hands and dancing together.
Mm-hmm.
Like how a man and a woman would dance.
I think it's incredible that though these men lived hard lives, they were able to socialize and find love and companionship when so much of their world was so uncertain. It's also cool to know cowboy and Western culture has always been black and queer. Yeehaw.
All right, I got to do some more. I got to do some research on this because I know that some people contested that said that the Cowboys that is really Latino, which you got the Vaquero, which like I guess they could correlate. You know, both could be true at the same time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy, yo. It is more and more information that I just come up with. Like I'll be finding, I'll be like, God damn, I'm like, this shit crazy. It is funny. I like digging up the stuff because it makes a lot of these like the Afrocentrics, like all the nutty, Black Power crazy people and stuff. It makes fun. It pokes fun at them. Like it's serious and it's real history, but it's a shot at them because it crumbles their whole agenda. You know what I mean? Like they got this wicked agenda, and showing this stuff crumbles it. You know what I mean? And information that they can't find out of. They can't find out of it.
Yeah.
Pirates.
It also doesn't help with this Christianity stuff, trying to undermine it too.
Yep.
I'm not even like for gay stuff like that, but like like to say like it never happens. Like come on.
Yeah. Now look at this. What it says about the Caribbean.
I gotta go in a little bit, but let me see this real quick. I'll definitely tune in after you're done with all this. It is very valuable information.
This channel from that captivating content. In many of Caribbean nations today, criminalization of LGBT identity is usually because of centuries-old colonial restrictions being upheld by conservative Christian politics. Yet one has to ask themselves, if buggery laws were put in place, it must stand to reason that these consensual acts were already happening in the Caribbean for hundreds of years prior. In fact, many may not realize that there were indeed gay weddings recorded in the beginning of the post-colonial Caribbean. Pirates, who were known throughout the Caribbean for their lawless nature, had crews of nearly all men. It would only make sense that men who were attracted to men would be a part of pirate crews as well. Because many of the men on pirate ships lived as family and had their own set of established codes, the problem of inheritance of treasure arose. So when a shipmate died, a way to ensure you inherited their precious belongings was to enter a matelotage, a French term which means seamanship. Besides inheritance, men in matelotage would vow to fight for one another, share income, and protect each other's interests. As early as 1645, a French governor of the island Tortuga, a popular pirate destination at the time, requested a shipment of female sex workers from the French government to tour the popularity of matelotage unions in the area. And to be clear, it is a well-documented fact that pirates came from all races, with some African runaway slaves, as well as Asian indentured servants and merchants becoming pirates as well, meaning men from many cultural backgrounds potentially married in the Caribbean for hundreds of years. History can be such an interesting teacher. Though much of the Caribbean laws make West Indian nations unsafe for many LGBT people, at one time, these very islands were havens for gay unions.
See?
I wonder, do you read the comments on these type of videos? Because I sometimes do that and see people sort of have these contests, but damn, I'd never look into that more. Of course, they'll make a lot of parents mad and shit like that.
Hell yeah, you already know. They be mad as hell.
Yeah. Ignorant
videos on this shit. I didn't even see this before. They got other videos, other channels that talk about it.
All right. That
information. Said, wow, amazing history and background. Imagine all the diversity and culture blended during the hundreds of years.
Exactly. Shit. That is fascinating information, man. Thank you for this. I'll definitely tune in next time.
Yeah, man. Always like trying to find like this off-brand like type of information. Like I said, I like beating up on all these people that promote all this racism and hatred and all this pseudo information and stuff like that. And when I hit them with stuff like this, they stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like, well, hey, you said this, but look, this was what was going on.
Right. All right, I'll be going, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too, man. I'll be throwing some stuff up in the community post. Now I know that you'll be looking at stuff.
Right.
I saw more stuff up in there.
All right, see ya.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Good seeing you too.
You do Godspeed.
Yep. Hey here, bro. Yeah. So see, let's see. I'm happy somebody learned something new today. Shit, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, Killer B Wishfinder General. I tried to make it through without cussing, but you know, I dropped a couple of them up in here. But yeah, old Shamiam getting monetized on Twitter. That's what's up. You lit, boy. You lit, boy. Hey, you can get that Mustang soon. Yeah, that Mustang Cobra, boy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all learned something. Take this information definitely and go bring it to your favorite Afrocentrists or blackologists, and have them fight out of that paper bag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I had fun tonight. I had fun on the show earlier today. I'm glad to have people on here to help me do the show, like Nagy Springfield, had Arcada GT with his mug today. Eric Alexander, I see you popped up in here. I'll say Eric Alexander's cup of tea here talking. So you know he was out in the bushes. But you know, the Sister Chen, guess what the girl that goddamn Killer Bee talking about tonight? Was that you, Eric? Or was that Need for Speed or Built for Speed? When I was talking about the eunuchs and stuff, it was one of y'all talking about. I like to hear more Christians speak on that because I believe that's a very important scripture that's not dealt with in Christianity. You know what I mean? Or a Christian leader might bring up the word eunuch, knowing the congregation don't really know what a eunuch is. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes they might not even know. You know what I mean? So, hey, human rights. That's what it's all about. Human rights. Think for yourself. You find this information, and don't just take the information that I got. Go and research it. And like I said, it's not hard to research most of this stuff. It's very easy. It's like y'all can use Chat GPT too. I've been using that a lot lately. I'm going to do a video just for members only on Chat GPT. Because that's a very important, useful tool for research and stuff. You really get to the root of what you're looking for through that without going through a whole bunch of Google search stuff. It's all about how you search, learning how to search correctly to get certain information. Some things I like to search against what I'm looking for. Say, like if I'm looking to research a certain subject, and I'm looking, most people they research, so they looking for something. They looking for what they looking for. You know what I mean? I like to look the opposite or the opposing view of what I'm looking for. And then I can narrow down a conclusion of what's actually real, what's actually truthful, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I hope you guys had a good time. It's been 2 hours and 18 minutes. We had one weirdo come up in here and try to disrupt the show, but nah, I ain't getting no props. You go take your old big booby behind somewhere else. Don't get no love over here. And get back to people they $6,000 that you stole. Yeah, so with that, y'all, I'm up out of here, yo. So shout out to all the people and stuff. Shout out to Consciously for sparking this on my interest in this video. I'm definitely going to be looking at. I see you got a website too, so I'm definitely going to check out his website probably more than the what's the thing. He also hit me to an organization that helps LGBTQ people that are youth that are like kicked out of their homes and have problem with housing and stuff like that. Maybe I could get one of these people to come on and speak and stuff. So Yeah, or anybody else that you guys feel that I should be doing videos on the whole disabled people rights and stuff like that too. I definitely want to start doing videos on. I want to cover all human rights. I mean, even animal rights. I used to be an animal. Those of y'all probably don't know this. I used to be an animal rights activist. I was all about PETA and ALF. Those who don't know what ALF is and stuff, ALF is like the damn Hebrew Israelites of animal rights. No, they're like the Al Qaeda of animal rights, more likely. I used to be like really into that stuff when I was younger. Because I was a real vegan. Like people talk about veganism now and walking around with Jordans and stuff on. No, I was a real vegan. I didn't wear leather. I didn't wear no leather products for like damn near 10 years. Everything I had was like animal, like plant-based. Like I didn't wear any leather. I would get like vegan sneakers and stuff like that. Remember the hemp Adidas came out and stuff. I had like 3 pairs of hemp Adidas back in the day. That was dope. I wonder how much them shit's worth right now. Shit, I wish I still had them shits, the hemp Adidas. Couldn't skate in those motherfuckers though. Motherfuckers tear up. Supposed to be the strongest natural fiber, but not against grip tape on a skateboard. Though. It don't work that way. But anyway, y'all enjoyed the show. You guys can send me a donation and stuff through my Cash App, hit super thanks, super chat, all that good stuff. I definitely make a thank you video for you and post it. You know what I'm saying? Or live stream or just regular video, just thanking you for the donation, and I'll add you to the bottom of the list down here. Or if you want to be even doper and stuff, you could join, be a member and stuff, and get exclusive videos, videos that I've took down and only put in the membership only section and stuff to view. So a lot of people be looking for some of my old videos and shit, but not in the member section only for certain reasons. I'm gonna be taking a lot of videos down and maybe moving them somewhere else. I think too. I think it might be time for me to do a website. Actually, also, I don't know. I've been thinking things. I gotta have time to do all this stuff. I just think my supporters and stuff, my members and stuff, that keep me going. Brainstorm Home. Where you at? Where you at, Brainstorm Homeschool Academy? Where you at? Ain't see you up in here in a while. I might have to do some crazy police shooting videos and get her up in here. Shout out to her and her family and stuff. She's awesome. Like Brainstorm is so nice, man. She's the coolest lady and stuff on my channel. Like real talk. Sister P, I've been trying to get a hold of Sister P. I've been calling her, sending her emails, no reply. I hope she's all right. I know she was sick last time I talked to her. So I just hope she's doing all right and stuff. She was awesome. She was an awesome asset to the channel. Awesome. Like nothing beats Sister P. And those of y'all that been around that long that know Sister P, y'all already know. Sister P held it down. When my internet would jack up, Sister P bring out the sirens. It was like, yo, he'll be right back. Yo, don't worry about it. I used to love that shit. Sister P was awesome, man. Shout out to her. Nagy Springfield also for the work that he does and stuff. Y'all go over there and check out Nagy Springfield's channel. He be dropping some jewels. He be dropping some real good videos. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be some off stuff that none of y'all had ever thought about, like watching or learning about. Nagy come out with it. You'd be shocked at the stuff that Nagy reveals in this stuff. I want to hear Nagy and Shaka from Mott Forever have a conversation on the whole Hinduism and the Kemetic spirituality thing. I think that would be a good conversation. I know Judah, he was getting at Judah about talking about it, but Nagy, I don't know if it's the same thing as Judah was saying, or Judah probably got it from Nagy and just like swagger jacked it or whatever. But I would like to hear that conversation and stuff. But with that, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. Do some research, look at some other videos and stuff. There was something I was supposed to do after the show, but I totally forgot about it already. They didn't come to me. But yeah, with that, y'all, I'm getting up out of here. I'm Killer B, the Witch Finder General. You got a witch, I'll burn them up. Don't forget to hit the damn like button either, y'all. All right, y'all. Peace.